Okay, we'll open the Garden Grove City Council meeting. Ms. Baylor, would you please call roll?
Councilmember Beard.
Here.
Councilmember Jones.
Here.
Councilmember Fawn.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Nguyen.
Here.
Mayor Broadwater.
Here. Okay. I want to stop real quick and go to one issue really quick, and then we'll go back to the part we should be on. Okay, I'd like to go to matters from the mayor, number 12, and this time bring that forward right now. Matters from the mayor, city council members, and city manager. And if anybody would like to speak on that particular issue, number 12, now is the time you do it. Oral communications is open for that one issue. Seeing none, we'll close oral communications. Would you like to bring it forward?
Oh, yes, please, Mayor. I'd like to propose that we, on 12A, we have a full signature by the council, and it's a letter penned to the President of the United States, and it's concerning our community concern from the Vietnamese American community with what's happening over in China or in the Far East as far as the Chinese moving their oil rigs and their drilling machines into the South China Sea. And it's seen as an infringement upon the Vietnamese territories there. And it's been long established under the international law that that area, the Spratly Islands, the Paracel Islands, belong to Vietnam. And there's very much concern and anger in our community, in particular the Vietnamese American community, to not let that happen. So I'm hoping the council will join together and pen a letter to our president saying that the United States need to take a more proactive steps and impose sanctions on both Vietnam and China for violating not only the territorial waters of Vietnam, but also to prevent Vietnam from further human abuses and human religious violations.
Are you making that a motion?
Would you like to speak on that, to Councilwoman Nguyen, before we...
Yes, I just want to briefly speak on that item. There's a lot of human violations in Vietnam for women, children, that has caused lives as well as taken the liberty away from them. Recently, there was a 67-year-old woman who had to speak out on religious freedom by killing herself, and no one should have to do that in order to practice religion. I fully support this letter, and want to thank Councilmember Phan for bringing this subject up to the council. And today, I apologize for bringing this item up in advance before the ASO 59. I know they won a very, very hard competition, and they're here waiting so anxiously for the mayor to announce their winning victory. So I want to congratulate you before I leave, but I had to bring up these items, and I will leave shortly before you are called up, because today is my daughter graduation from high school. So thank you for being here, and thank you, Councilman Phan. This is a very important letter to the Vietnamese American community, since we are very lucky to be here in the United States, where we enjoy our freedom, and we have all the necessity we need. And when other people overseas who are in need of those things that are needed to survive, and also for the basic human rights, we should reach out and try to help as much as we can. We can't at this level, but Councilman Phan had a good idea to reach out to our president so that he can change foreign policy and help anywhere in the world to attain freedom and democracy.
And if I may, thank you to Councilwoman Nguyen for helping me with the effort as well, too. And I thank you in advance, the entire council, for your support of this letter.
Thank you.
If that's a motion,
I'll second that.
we have a motion and a second. Call for the vote.
Motion received, 5 yes votes.
Okay, we'll get that stamped and off to the president.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, we'll have the, what? I'll get to it, okay. That's okay, Peggy.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. At this time, we'll have the invocation by Susan Emery, and then we'll have Brother Jones here to lead us in the flag salute.
Dear God, we come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us to engage in meaningful discussion, allow us to grow closer as a group, and nurture the bonds of community. Fill us with your grace as we make decisions that affect the residents of Garden Grove. Amen.
Please face the flag of our great nation and say the pledge together with me. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we had two issues in closed session. At this time, going to report on neither one of them. We only finished one, and we'll have to go back to the city council, back to the closed session after the main city council meeting. It's my understanding that we have a presentation this evening.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, and I'd like Susan Emery to make the presentation this evening.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. First, we want to thank everyone for waiting so patiently. Tonight, the Garden Grove City Council is pleased to recognize two teams from West Garden Grove Division of the American Youth Soccer Organization for winning the Extra State Championship in March. With the boys U14 team and the girls U11 team, coaches Stephen Howard and Robert Mendoza, and assistant coach Dave Morrison, please come forward. AYSO was established in Los Angeles in 1964 with just 9 teams. Today, AYSO has 50,000 teams and over 500,000 players. Over the years, AYSO has revolutionized youth sports with its everyone plays and balanced teams philosophy. In 2012, the boys U14 team won their first extra state championship, followed by their second win in 2013. On March 15, 2014, the boys U14 team became three-peat champions by beating Moreno Valley 3-1 in the semifinal and winning the championship against Balboa Park 5-3. On March 16th, the girls U11 team beat Palos Verdes in the semifinal 2-1 and completed the run with a 4-2 victory against Saugus in the championship game. Both the boys U14 and the girls U11 teams will be competing in Riverside at the National Games from July 2nd to July 6th. At this time, the Mayor and City Council would like to present the two teams and their coaches with a gift in appreciation and recognition of the state championship. The City of Garden Grove is proud of the accomplishments of these teams and wishes them all the best in the National Games and in all of their future athletic endeavors.
Yeah, maybe we have the...
Want to have the girls' team first? Girls' team?
Okay, well, slow down. Slow down. We got some things here for you, and they're in order. Oh. Stephanie McCartney. Oh, good. Stephanie's right there. Oh, good. That's never happened before.
Doing home.
They're in order, Mr. Mayor.
I know.
Okay.
Jones is determined to get them out of order. Elisa Mendoza. Elisa, thank you very much. Good job. Madeline Orozco. Come on, let's have a hand for some of these girls. Madison Long. What's your name, Miss Collins? Asia, okay, congratulations. Hatley? Haley Long. Daniela? Congratulations. Callie B? Congratulations. Emily? Congratulations. Megan? Lo Chung. Riley, lazy? They don't call you lazy, do they? Riley, who's Riley here? Okay. Now, let me ask you a question. Who is this for?
Coach.
Coach. Congratulations.
Take a picture.
Okay. Coach, we need to get down to the end there. That's good.
Hey, Christian, that's good.
Some in the front, maybe.
Yeah, I think we need to squeeze in to make that work.
Take your, everybody on you in the front row.
Smaller ones in front, taller ones in back. Just like
Is it better?
Somebody got there. There we go. There we go. Perfect. And can you look at this camera first, too? Okay. On three. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I want to get another one of you guys.
Hang in there.
Yeah.
Got strong legs.
1, 2, 3. Everybody else?
Do we have the guys here?
They're up next.
All right.
Stay up, Coach. Oh, cool. Awesome. All right, good job.
Wait for your names to be called.
Okay, go down here. Armando.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pictures. Sam. Frank.
Come on all the way down.
Luke.
Time to take the action.
Nathan. Bradley. Look at Bradley. He's got a tie on.
Yeah.
This guy is a politician. Bobby.
Yeah, we'll spread you out one for a picture.
Benjamin? Ryan? Connor?
We're just trying to let the mayor be able to reach.
All right, now get in position.
Oh, dear.
Come on over here real quick. Let's get around here.
Towards the center.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm going to find that hole
He's as
between
tall
these
as I
tall.
am.
I stay on the step stool here for long.
Can you?
You're weak.
And one more. Moms are taking pictures. Don't move yet.
This is paparazzi out here.
All right.
All right. That's everybody.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Way to go.
Good job, Coach.
And they clear.
You are free to go unless you want to listen to a very, very boring session here.
Is the Pacifica thing coming up next?
No, for recognition tonight?
Yeah, it's going to be the next time, right?
Yeah, yeah. They're
When the
having-
kids,
thank-
kids push.
Thanks, Coach. Congrats. Way to go. Way to go.
Congratulations.
Good luck too.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Take
you,
care.
guys.
Boy, we cleared them out, didn't we?
Yeah, no kidding, huh?
Must be that letter from the president.
It's a little lonely out there now, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think, push it.
This is what happens when they move away from home.
More people in here.
Surprised Bruce didn't make him wait for the whole meeting.
There's another group of people I'd like to do that to.
Oh, wow.
Don't you see his name on it, Tom?
Okay, at this time, we will go to oral communications, and we will open up the successor agency at the same time to communicate at the same time. Sam, M-I-R-Z-A, Marza? Mirza.
Good evening. Some people know me, some people been here too many times. Well, I came here because issue came up, and I would like to address it to the council members. Just give me a second over here. Okay. You know, I've been in the business over here in the city of Gannett for almost, I have a business established for almost over 12 years. It's a coffee shop / hookah lounge. And in 2006, the city put some ordinance on us, how the hookah bar is supposed to be open, and what location or where it's supposed to be open. Well, it came to my attention, and this ordinance actually put restriction on me more than anybody else because I could not move left, or expand right next to my business. I even relocate to new location because I was grandfathered in. So my business was limited to what I have. Well, I said, it's okay, it'll protect my business, the city doing something good, at least it's regulating the businesses. Well, it came to my attention like a few months ago, they grant a hookah lounge license not far from me, and I was a little bit disappointed. When I asked this, when I went to the planning and I said, well, what's the situation over here? They tell me, well, they have a meeting, the councilor approved it, whatever the situation is. I was a little bit disappointed because did not meet none of the ordinance you guys put it on me. Be 1,000 feet away from school, he's not. Next to him, there is a tutoring center, not even 30 feet away from him.
What is next to him? Drink?
Tutoring center for a little kid to learn.
Tutoring.
Oh, tutoring center.
Yeah. So I was like, what's going on here? He's not even in zone 2 or zone 3, C1 or C2. But in this situation, I'm wondering how he got his license or what the purpose of getting his license for. So I would like the city to do investigation how he got his license because it's really all those years I'm in the business, I was restricted, and suddenly he got his license, was not obeying with none of the ordinance you guys put on.
Would you give the clerk the address of the location and the
Yes, I have a letter for all of you guys. I'm going to give a letter with a location and everything in it. I would like to hear an answer, like written answer, or next meeting I come in and you guys tell me what's come up with it. Because really,
Well, the answer is that we don't know the answer.
I understand that.
Okay? And if you give us the address and stuff, we will look into this.
No, I totally
And you give us the
understand that.
name, we'll take a look at the license, how it was acquired, and everything.
I
And we
understand.
can't guarantee that'll all be done by the next meeting.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm
I
saying
did that, that's what I heard.
Okay, I apologize if you heard that. But what I'm saying is, at least I like to have a peace of mind because it's happening more than often. You know, like something will pop up and I have to come over here. And Mr. John, no, I've been here like a couple times defending my business and obeying by the law you guys put on. At least, you know, we have to have like a open way conversation over here to see, because I think if you guys want to change the ordinance at any time, you have to do like what you did in 2006, invite all of us here and give us a new ordinance, if you guys going to change the ordinance. But I'm sure it's not going to happen, because all those years we went by what you guys put on us. So I would like, you know, I'm just saying it's really upset me a lot. And I've been proud of City of Garden Grove and have a business and live in the City of Garden Grove for almost 18, 20 years. Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I have a letter.
Yes, I'm going to give you the letter.
John Winsmith. Wildsmith.
Thank you for the correction.
It was a mistake.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council, staff, and citizens of Garden Grove. I'm John Wildsmith. I'm here to announce the annual general meeting a week on Saturday, the 21st of June, of the Garden Grove Neighbourhood Association. It's our regular annual backyard annual general meeting. Distinguished speakers will be there. Our distinguished mayor, council, police chief, fire chief, Dr. George West will be there. And we always invite our federal and state representatives. Not all can make it this time. However, this year we're starting at 10 o'clock. It's going to be a backyard brunch. And we'll be serving the brunch from 10 o'clock until 12 while speakers are speaking, etc. And I better announce where it is. It's at the home of our president, Maureen Blackman, at 12381 Mead Street, and that's 1 street west of Gilbert, just off Lamson. Again, you don't have to join. We're always happy when people will join, because we do a lot of good work in the community. We do a lot of tree planting. We look after old folks and poor families at Christmas, etc. And we want to build on that, etc. And so even though you don't have to join, and the brunch is free, we hope that people will sign up with us. It's only $12 per family, not per person. Also, bring a few more dollars for some wonderful prize. We have a raffle each year, and always some good prizes there. So we hope that the council will be there. Certainly speaking, I think all of you have replied, and I'm just looking through. I do have some flyers here. I don't know if I can put them outside on the table. Is that okay? That's it, basically. So just come along, bring your appetite and a few more bucks, and we'd look forward to seeing you all 10 o'clock, a week on Saturday, the 21st of June, at 12381 Mead Street. Thank you.
Thank you. Charles Mitchell.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, and staff. Last week, there was a commemoration of the landings on Normandy Beach in France. There aren't many of the veterans left who courageously landed on those beaches. I was fortunate to be able to participate in several meetings with an organization known as the Freedom Committee of Orange County. This is a group of veterans who go out to the schools and talk to the kids about their experiences. So the kids get a chance to actually talk to someone who was there and find out what it was like for them to go through their experiences. Now, this group entails veterans from World War II all the way up through and including the wars in the Middle East. And one of the people that I've had the pleasure of talking to many times, his name is Bob. His last name escapes me for the moment because our name tags only say our first names. But he was a pilot who landed his glider in the early morning hours of June 6th behind the German lines and participated in helping the airborne troops in securing vital objectives prior to the landings actually taking place. But he's only one of many veterans going back to World War II on up through Korea, Vietnam. There's a chance to meet and talk to these people. Now, the meeting is at 11:30 at the Costa Mesa Community Center, just off of 19th Street, between 19th Street and Newport Harbor Boulevard. So if you have the opportunity, everyone is welcome to come. Bring your lunch at 11:30, and our program starts at noon. These are people who have been there and done heroic things, and they will tell their stories and make their presentations so that the stories are recorded, so that they'll be kept as a record of what these men and women have done to preserve our country. Thank you.
Thank you. Peter Katz.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council, staff, and public. I want to talk about a few veterans events myself here tonight. Item 12 that was on the agenda on human rights in Vietnam and what's going on in the South China Sea, the issue is being taken up by SEATO. Secretary of State Kerry has met with Japan and other nations of the South Pacific and trying to put pressure on China and Vietnam to resolve this issue. So there is an ongoing dialogue in this issue, as well as Congresswoman Loretta Sanchez has traveled several times to Vietnam on the human rights issue. There is ongoing dialogue here, but we need to put more pressure, and this was a great resolution. You've been following the scandals in the VA hospital. You saw the 70th anniversary of D-Day last week. But today, there was a incident in Afghanistan that killed 4 U.S. soldiers and 1 South Afghan soldier. This was a friendly fire incident. We called in fire because they came under fire, and we hit our own troops. So freedom is not free. This war is still not over. And I believe the Commander-in-Chief will be reflecting on that this Saturday at Anaheim Stadium when he addresses the commencement exercise for UCI graduates. It is the 50th anniversary of the founding of UCI. The ground was broken by then-President Lyndon Johnson, who passed the Civil Rights Movement, and you can see how far we've come with civil rights with the first black African-American president. Some good news, the Orange County Veterans Cemetery has cleared the assembly last week, that we pushed this bill through, 73-0 unanimous vote, and now heads to the Senate, hoping to get it to the governor's desk in September. So I'll keep you posted on that one. And if you have something to do and you got a bunch of kids this summer, take a trip out to the USS Iowa in San Pedro Harbor. There, sometime in the end of July and in August, we will have 8 tall ships, 3-masted ships, where you can go on board and see how naval battles were fought in the last century. And it's a fun adventure. And actually, the Iowa, many people do not know, Harry Truman was aboard that signed the documents for the Korean armistice. It also was the ship that evacuated 98,000 civilians that the Chinese were planning on slaughtering with the retreat of the Chosun Reservoir battle in 1953. So 1 million people today owe their lives to that evacuation, being a third generation now. And I also want to mention an organization. It's a very young organization, but I went to their open house on Saturday. But this is a great veterans organization. It's based in Orange, but it's called Patriots in Pause. If you know a veteran that's struggling, that needs some furniture to furnish their home or an apartment, they give away free furniture. They will even deliver it. You just come to the warehouse and pick what you need. They also provide free pets for veterans that need some companionship. So it's a great, great organization. The girl running it, her dad was a lifetime Marine, and he left her and her sister an endowment, and they chose to take that endowment and give it back to the soldiers that are defending our freedom. Tomorrow there's a job fair for veterans at Anaheim Convention Center. Parking is free. Admission is free. It's one of the largest job fairs going this year. So if you know a veteran needs a job, there's going to be a lot of employers out there. The Christ Cathedral Memorial Day event drew over 1,000 people for this first event. It was a wonderful event. It was a joint prayer service between the Christ Cathedral and Mariners Church, and it looks like it's going to be a very successful ongoing event on Memorial Day. And lastly, I want to just remind people the Light Rail Go Local project. There are 3 public hearings. This will terminate here at Harbor Boulevard in Westminster, but if anyone's interested in the light rail system, the 45-day EIR report is under review for public comment, and there's 3 opportunities to make your comments. First one is this Saturday, 9 a.m. to 12 noon, and that's in the it's 501 Lacey Street. That's in the transit district near the train station in Santa Ana. The second event is Tuesday, June 17th, 9 a.m. to 12 noon at the Police Community Center in Santa Ana. And the one that is closest to Garden Grove will be Thursday, June 19th, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And that will be at the Goodwill Industries location on 5th and Fairview. So if anybody wants to see what the Go Local light rail system and want to make some comments, they're welcome to come. So, and it's going to affect people in Garden Grove as well. So thank you.
Thanks, Peter. Nancy and Carolyn?
Good evening. Thank you for letting us take the opportunity to address the City Council tonight. Nancy and I are from Bank of America in the corner of Brookhurst and Westminster, and we're partnering with the American Red Cross to have an actual annual blood drive on June 22nd. So, and the bone marrow donation also on June 22nd from 10 to 4. If you want to please sign up online, we will be glad to take any reservation and appointments for that day. We will have music, food, and a lot of the Vietnamese community will be coming out to support the annual American Red Cross blood drive. So from 10 to 4 on June 22nd, hope to see you there.
What kind of music are you going to have? I'm Bleeding for You or something like that?
Any kind of music you want, we'll have. I'll even karaoke for you.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're both done.
We do have flyers for everyone.
Okay, please leave them with her.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Robin Macario.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, staff, and Garden Grove residents. I'm Robin Marcario. I just wanted to make a few comments and sort of ask for the public's help in combating mosquitoes and rats. This time of year with the increased heat, where this is sort of the breeding ground for mosquitoes, I'd just like to ask the public to sort of look around your house. Are there any little pools of water, a sprinkler head that's leaking, or a little water under your plants, anywhere? Just a little tablespoon of water is all that's needed for mosquitoes to breed. And if you do happen to find mosquitoes or roof rats, please call Vector Control. It's a public health service. I'll give you the number. It's 714-971-2421. That's if you see any mosquitoes or any rats, please call Vector Control. Let's see. I wanted to support the council and staff's efforts to alleviate the donation bins. I would like to ban the bins because they are nothing more than unsightly graffiti magnets. And I don't know about you, but I'm always getting these little cards in the mail for donations, So it's not as though the charities won't get the opportunity to get donations, because I'm getting a card nearly every week to leave something out in front of the house or directly to the various charities. So I definitely support that and thank the council for addressing that. I also like the fact that the council and staff have put in drought-resistant landscaping along our medians. I think it's very good way to, they're attractive. They cut costs with regards to maintenance and especially for water usage with this drought that we're in. And lastly, I wanted to commend the mayor in particular. Your part in getting the utility box painted there at Acacia and Euclid, the Girl Scouts approached you and you were receptive and you really did a great thing, including the youth and giving them an opportunity to participate and put some public art up.
I told them.
Now, don't, let me finish first and then you can have your word.
I'll give you another
courteous.
right.
Please be courteous. Please.
I told those girls not to tell anybody who told them let them do it, and they ratted me out.
Oh no, you deserve the accolades for doing that. It's really a great thing. You've got to drive by. Anybody in the public that hasn't seen it just yet, it's one of those kind of beige utility boxes that are also graffiti magnets. The Girl Scouts approached the mayor and said, we'd like to paint some beautiful strawberries and butterflies, and it's awesome. It's kind of like right in the heart of downtown. It looks amazing. So I just wanted to give way to go, Girl Scouts, troop number 1224. The leader is Mrs. Johnson. They did an absolutely fabulous job. So I'm sure at some point council will have them here and formally recognize them, but it looks amazing. All right, and in closing, my beloved neighbor, Bill, he is also a World War II veteran, since we're talking about veterans thing. He just celebrated his 93rd birthday. So happy birthday, Bill. Thanks very much.
I have no more cards, so at this time, oral communication is closed. We're going to recess the Garden Grove City Council and go to the successor agency.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Madam Clerk, would you like to call roll?
Member Broadwater?
Here.
Member Wynn? Member Fawn?
Here.
Vice Chair Beard?
Here.
Chair Jones?
Here. So we already did oral communications in conjunction with City Council oral, so we'll move on to consent items, basically just the warrants. Do I have a motion?
I'll move the issue.
Second.
Call the vote? We'll get to her.
I guess it passed.
Kathy? Got it?
I'm
Vote.
sorry. Oh,
We just called the vote on consent
motion
items.
received
just
for
the
yes
warrant.
votes.
Yeah.
So I was distracted.
Okay. Moving on to public hearings, we only have one item. This was already considered last week, so we could,
Right.
if staff wants to just give a quick sort of refresher update, but we don't necessarily need to do the whole.
That's correct, Mr. Chairman. At my request, you continued the item. I was uncertain as to whether or not the square footages that were identified were correct, but I have to admit publicly that I was actually wrong. They were correct, and we did check them. And so the item is correct as presented, And we would recommend after you, do we have to reopen the public hearing?
I think we continued it to, so let's reopen it.
So we would open it up again, but we would recommend that the agency accept the contract as prepared for the sale of the 3 properties for a total price of $515,000.
Good. I think we all appreciate your caution and double checking that, since it's got to go through several layers of approval in the agency and so forth. So, okay, we'll open the public hearing. Anybody wishing to speak on this item? No cards. Seeing none, we will close the public hearing. Any comments, questions?
Just a quick question, since I was not here at the last meeting. Can you please just tell me briefly why there's a difference in the values? Are they just different in size?
Yeah, they're different in sizes,
Okay.
so for that reason, they're off a little bit based on the size of the parcel. Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Other question, comments? Otherwise, I'll go ahead and move it.
Second.
Call the vote.
Motion received, 4 yes votes.
Any matters from agency members? Seeing none, we'll adjourn back to City Council.
Okay, at this time, we'll go to number 7 on the council.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, it's a consent calendar, and it's recommended that items 7A through 7G be acted on simultaneously by the council unless a separate discussion is requested.
Does anybody want to pull one? Entertain a motion.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion, second, call for the vote.
Motion received, 4 yes votes.
Let's go to public hearing.
Mr. Mayor, your first public hearing is to consider essentially a annexation, which includes a general plan amendment and zone change for property located on Lamson, and Carl Hill is here to give a presentation on the item.
Mayor, members of the City Council, the item before you tonight is referred to as the Carmel Lamson Island annexation. The site consists of 3 parcels of land, and 3 parcels are under one ownership. For discussion purposes, the 3 parcels are considered as one site development. For the proposed action is in essence a precursor to annexation, which is to annex the subject site into the city of Garden Grove from the County of Orange. The site, for all intents and purposes, is fully improved with multifamily residential project built under the County of Orange zoning designation of multifamily residential developed in 1989. The site is located at 8141, 8151, and 8171 Lamson Avenue, County of Orange. The property is located on the north side of Lamson Avenue, approximately midpoint between Beach Boulevard and Dale Street. The site is served by 2 driveway approaches for ingress and egress purposes from Lamson Avenue only. The site property area consists of 1 acre in land and is improved with 3 2-story residential buildings having a total of 20 apartment units. The site has 42 enclosed parking spaces and 4 guest-designated parking spaces. Along with the 3 2-story residential buildings, the site is fully improved with front, side, and rear landscaping, a turf-laden active recreation area, and paved drive aisles. The building's architecture is contemporary residential style, reflective of the residential architecture of the immediate area. Orange County LAFCO, which is Local Agency Formation Commission, is a government agency charged with controlling the boundaries of the cities and special districts. Per state statute, Orange County LAFCO has the authority to adopt and update a sphere of influence for each city and to approve or disapprove all boundary changes and annexations. A city's sphere of influence includes that property located outside the city that is designated for potential future annexation to the city. In order for the Orange County LAFCO to approve the annexation of the property to a city, the city's sphere of influence must include the property, and the city's general plan must cover the property. The cities may also pre-zone property within the sphere of influence so that the zoning and the development standards are already in place when and if the property is ultimately annexed into the city. Typically, it is the city that requests Orange County LAFCO to amend its sphere of influence or to approve annexation of a county island to the city. In this case, however, the property owners themselves filed an application with Orange County LAFCO and then approached the city to request its consent to the sphere of influence amendment and annexation. The city of Stanton has not objected to the proposed annexation of the Carmel Lamson Island to the city of Garden Grove. City staff has met with both the property owners and Orange County LAFCO staff and is in support of the request. Upon completion of the annexation, the city will take over responsibility for providing police, fire, and other city services to the property and will also assume ownership of and responsibility for all right-of-way and public facilities adjacent to the property that is currently owned by the county.
A copy of the Orange County LAFCO standard terms and conditions pertaining to the proposed annexation are attached to the Planning Commission staff report for your convenience. Before Orange County LAFCO can act on the property owner's application and approve the sphere of influence amendments and annexation, the City of Garden Grove must amend its general plan to cover the property and adopt pre-zoning for the property. The Planning Commission reviewed the matter on April 3rd, 2014, and made a recommendation to the City Council to approve of the proposed general plan and land use map amendments needed to facilitate the annexation of the Carmel Lamson Island to the City of Garden Grove. The current zoning designation is multifamily residential under the County of Orange, and the pre-designated City of Garden Grove general plan land use designation is medium-density residential, which has a density range of 18 to 32 dwelling units per acre. And the city's accompanying pre-zoning designation is R3 multifamily residential with a density range of up to 24 dwelling units per acre. The current development with 20 units on 0.9 acres equates to the residential development of 22 dwelling units per acre. This existing density range is within both the city's pre-general plan and pre-zoning designations. Accordingly, staff believes that the medium-density residential land use designation is appropriate for the site and will ensure that the site is maintained in continuity with surrounding land uses. As indicated, the site is already improved with an integrated multifamily development consisting of 20 apartment units and related on-site parking facilities and amenities. Pre-zoning of the site to R3 would maintain and be reflective of the basic site improvements and zoning development standards for the multifamily residential uses. Under the city's R3 development standards, the permitted density on the site would be between 20 to 24 units, which is consistent with the density of the existing improvements. Staff notes that the site is currently well-maintained, does not appear to have parking problems, and has ease of access from Lamson Avenue. However, the existing improvements may not fully satisfy all the R3 development standards. To that extent, this is the case, the property would be deemed legal nonconforming and could continue to operate and maintain itself in its current condition. However, any future proposed improvements on the site would have to conform to the R3 development standards. For the environmental review consideration for purposes of the analysis under CEQA, California Environmental Quality Act, the proposed project includes amendment of the city's official general plan land use map to include the Carmel Lamson Island within the medium density land use designation, amendment of the city's official zone map to pre-zone the Carmel Lamson Island to R3, and adoption of the Orange County LAFCO amendments to remove the Carmel Lamson Island from the city of Stanton's sphere of influence and to add to the Carmel Lamson Island to the city of Garden Grove sphere of influence, and annexation of the Carmel Lamson Island to the city of Garden Grove. For the proposed project involves the annexation of approximately 1 acre of fully improved territory developed to a density consistent with the proposed pre-zoning and general plan land use designations and not requiring the extension of any additional utility facilities. Accordingly, the proposed project is categorically exempt from CEQA under Title 14 California Code of Regulations in Section 15319, Class 19 of the state CEQA guidelines pertaining to annexations of existing facilities to a city. Additionally, the proposed project is exempt from CEQA pursuant to Title 14 California Code of Regulations 15061 of the state CEQA guidelines because it can be seen with certainty that there is no possibility that the activity in question may have a significant effect on the environment. Therefore, staff conveys at this time that the Planning Commission recommends the City Council determine that the project is exempt from California Environmental Quality Act pursuant to the code sections and regulations, adopt the attached resolution approving General Plan Amendment Number GPA 2-13A to amend the City of Garden Grove's General Plan Land Use Map to include the Carmel Lamson Island with the medium-density residential general plan land use designation, introduce and conduct the first reading of the attached ordinance for amendment number A172-13 to amend the city's zone map to pre-zone the Carmel Lamson Island with site with R3 multiple family residential, and adopt the attached resolution approving a property tax exchange agreement with the County of Orange regarding the proposed annexation of the Carmel Lamson Island to the city of Garden Grove. That concludes staff's presentation, and we're available to answer any questions in the matter. But I also have to read the ordinance into the record. An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Garden Grove approving zone change amendment number A172-13 in conjunction with the proposed annexation of the property commonly referred to as the Carmel Lamson Island to the City of Garden Grove to pre-zone the property as R3 multiple family residential. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Any questions for staff?
Quick question, Carl. As far as the reason why the family decided to come into our sphere's influence, did you ask them the reason why they want to get away from Stanton?
They, sorry, they believe that their property is well suited for the City of Garden Grove, that it can easily fold into the city's parameters, and best for the City of Garden Grove.
I just know what their driving motivation was all these years. So,
Well, they're here, they'll speak too,
Oh,
but
okay.
I think they like Garden Grove better than Stanton.
Sounds good.
Any other questions for staff? At this time, we'll open up the public hearing. We have 2 cards. Steve Sarkis.
Mr. Mayor and City Council members, I come and speak in opposition to this. The gentleman you referred to, he has not told you the complete facts. Some time ago, LAFCO asked the City of Stanton to annex the parcel, and they went through the process and actually legally did all the paperwork and everything and adopted it as a City Council resolution. And because we were told, because I live directly north of the property, in the tract north of it, and we've had several problems with that property, them illegally parking in our parking areas, which is posted, and they've been towed, either you park there again, you'll be towed away. Also, a few years ago, there were several fatalities on Lamson right there, so the county put a no parking sign there along that whole stretch, and some of their residents got creative and put plastic garbage bags over the no parking sign until the sheriff came down and took it into the fact. But when our neighbors started getting this letter, we took it to the city council there, and that's the first they knew about it, because they didn't know that this gentleman had gone to LAFCO and interfered and they weren't told about it at all, because I asked Mr. Shaver and Mr. Ethans and Mr. Rigoberto on the city council, and they've inferred that this gentleman has used some influence through a congressional office in LAFCO to reverse the whole process, which is being investigated. And I suggest that right now you deny this whole project or this whole acquisition and referred back to the city, because as of this afternoon, the City of Garden Grove has not talked to the City of Stanton about it, because we talked to Shaver and Omar and the rest of them, and they didn't know. The first time they knew about it was when we brought it to the residents, brought it to their attention, and you should deny it, and before the staff and the city manager go back to the City of Stanton and talk to them what this gentleman has done to thwart the whole process and illegally go around the law.
Did you speak before LAFCO?
No, we didn't know about it, because the City of Stanton already filed the
LAFCO didn't inform Stanton?
Of this none, no.
You understand what LAFCO is?
Yes.
And why would you have congressional people looking at LAFCO when they're a state?
Using influence.
Using influence?
Using influence. And the congressman was not amused when he was told about it.
Well, I wouldn't know how you'd use, well, that's beside the point.
You use it to get members of LAFCO to reverse the process of Stanton annexing the property. Because the LAFCO already and Stanton has the documentation already that the LAFCO asked them to annex the property, and they went to the motions, and they had at the city council. We were told by the city council that they had already approved the annexation of the property.
Do you know of anything about this?
There's quite a bit of history before it got to this point. And again, I don't want to speak for the owners. They are here. But there was a process. The county had presented this opportunity to Stanton to annex the property, and it did go through the process, fairly far into the process. And again, I'll let the owners speak as to their request to be annexed to Garden Grove. And through a series of actions, LAFCO pulled back the annexation to Stanton and allowed the property owner to make a request to come to Garden Grove.
Is there anything illegal that you know of?
Not that we know of.
Okay.
Stanton's well aware of it, for sure, because
they are.
I've heard from Shaver for the last year and a half.
Yeah, this
about
is nothing new to the city of Stanton. I spoke to the
Right.
city
They
manager, spoke to
not like it or
mayor.
whatever.
and-
It's not conventional the way it's sort of coming about because it's being prompted by a property owner as opposed to.
Have a seat,
Top
Mrs.
down.
Darkis. Okay, is Mr. Hall, is he the owner?
There is no,
Who's Miss Hall?
yeah, all the owners are female, so I'm extremely confused by Mr. Sarkis's remarks. Also.
Okay, if you're going to talk, I want you up there. Are you Amber Hall?
Yes.
Oh, good, good. I want to get rid
Okay.
of this card.
Well, I'm going to go with what I had prepared first, and then if we can go with questions. Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council. My name is Amber Hall. I am the president of Hall & Associates, the management company for the property in question. Also one of the 4 owners of the Carmel Lamson property that we're speaking of. The other 2 are here this evening, my sisters, Ariana and Alexis. The 4th, my mom, is home with my 3 boys, not 5 boys, 3 boys under the age of 5. So she's having a crazy evening tonight. I'd like to thank you for your consideration this evening for our request to become part of the City of Garden Grove. As Mr. Hill mentioned, our property is a fully improved multifamily property, consists of 20 residential apartment homes. While Lamson has been officially an unincorporated island in the County of Orange, our property has always identified with the City of Garden Grove. It has always had an address of Garden Grove. The zip code is Garden Grove. It is serviced by Garden Grove Waste Disposal, and many of our residents attend schools within the Garden Grove School District. For more than a year, we have worked closely with your excellent city staff in an effort to become officially part of your city. And I just want to say that my family takes great pride in the kind of homes that we offer to our residents. I'm a bit surprised about Mr. Sarkis's complaints about parking and those kinds of things because everybody does have a garage. And we have a towing company that goes by. So I haven't received any complaints. We have an after-hours emergency line. We are a property management company we're in business, 5 days a week. So this is the first I'm hearing of any complaints about parking or anything of that nature. So we do maintain the kind of property that residents like to stay in, and if you drove by our property, I hope that you would agree. So with that being said, I'm happy to answer any specific questions to the best of my knowledge, and I thank you again tonight for your time and consideration.
Okay. One of our councilmen had a question. Why did you do this?
Why did we do this? Well, we were invited to the LAFCO hearing when we were being considered to be a part of Stanton. And again, for numerous reasons, including the ones I mentioned, we feel that Garden Grove is a better fit. It's really unusual. Our island is an unusual circumstance in which it contains only these 20 units, and the property's right on the border of Stanton and Garden Grove. And I think most of the residents would have been very surprised had we gone back to them that evening and said, oh, guess what? You're actually part of Stanton. Most of them don't understand that they're in the county and not a city. Again, their mailing addresses are Garden Grove, all those types of things. So we, as a property owners, had our say, and we were granted time to come to the city of Garden Grove and ask that we be considered to be a part of your city.
Any other questions, gentlemen?
Yeah, I have a question. So basically, did you conduct some type of vote on the property? You're the property manager. You don't live there yourself.
Right. We don't live there. There was a petition done by the residents who live there that we brought to the LAFCO meeting. We were never approached ahead of time to ask if where the property owners or the residents might prefer to be in either city. And again, this was a city. It's a bit confusing because there's an island project, and then there's this, of which we were one of several islands that were being considered to be part of the city of Stanton instead of remaining in the county. It's my understanding that the county wants to get rid of the islands because obviously draining resources from the county, and it doesn't make a lot of sense, when you're within a city for county services to be coming to you. So some of those other islands were like smack dab in the middle of Stanton versus ours is, like I said, right on the border, and had been, all those residents believe that they are in the city of Garden Grove.
So the city of Stanton, no, it was the county of Orange that initiated this LAFCO.
Originally, a few years back. That's correct.
But getting back to the petition related to your particular complex?
Right, so over a year ago, when the property was being considered to be annexed into the city of Stanton, our residents did a petition saying they would prefer to be within the city of Garden Grove, and us, the property owners, also said we would prefer to be a part of the city of Garden Grove.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? I would like to say that there is a difference between Stanton and Garden Grove, especially when it comes to taxes. Stanton pays utility tax. It is huge, and the water bill over there is much higher than ours. So I would go to Garden Grove, too. Anyone entertain a motion?
I'll move it.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Call for the vote.
Motion received, 4 yes votes.
Okay, instead of going to 8B, we're going to take 5 minutes. We're glad to have you back. Okay, we'll reopen the city council. Let's go to 8B.
8B is a public hearing to consider the assessment for the Main Street, District Number 1, and Anna Neer's here to give a staff report.
Thank you, Mr. Fertel, Mr. Mayor, and members of the City Council. This is the final step in the process to establish the annual assessment for the Main Street Assessment District Number 1. On May 27, City Council set the public hearing date for today. The assessment remains the same from the previous year, and expenditures will also remain the same. In accordance with the Landscaping and Lighting Act of 1972, the remaining action for City Council is to hold a public hearing and adopt a resolution confirming the assessments for the Main Street Assessment District. Staff recommends that the City Council open the public hearing and take public comment, adopt the attached resolution confirming the proceedings and assessments against the individual parcels, and direct the city clerk to file and record the assessments with the county auditor for collection of the assessment on the tax roll. This concludes my report, and I'm available to answer any questions.
Any questions for staff?
Thank you. Anna, did I read this correctly that that the assessments are total about $26,000 and the actual expenses are $37,000? Like they're approving this with a built-in budget deficit?
Yes. So we're going to be collecting about $26,000, and the expenditures are going to be $37,000. But we start with a beginning balance of about $30,000. So there will not be a deficit at the end of the fiscal year. And then also the $37,000 in expenditures, that's only if Main Street Commission decides to do the improvements using all of that allocation. But at this point, they don't have any plans to use that allocation.
Yeah, I think there is a point where, again, we'll have to broach with the owners that they have voted to keep the assessment the same for I don't know how many years, but of course expenses keep creeping up. And a few years back, we actually had to eliminate or reduce the trash collections as a way to reduce the expenses. So you can see that they're, again, approaching a point where they're going to have to make a decision to either raise the assessment or we're going to have to somehow cut back on expenses. But they'll go through that balance
That's
very
about
quickly.
3 years out.
Right. So they've elected to just draw down on their balance to cover any shortfalls, but that can't continue, for an extended period of time.
Years out.
Well, let's have somebody do the math and find out when it really is, when there will be a deficit, so we make sure that we take care of that problem.
What she just says, there's, $30,000 in
$30,000
reserves,
as
basically.
for beginning
And they're operating
balance.
at a $13,000 deficit this year, so.
That's only if they do decide to to do improvements, because there's like a $10,000 allocation for improvements on Main Street. And this year, this last fiscal year, they did not use that allocation. So, but we review the budget with them every other month when we meet for Main Street Commission.
Okay, any other questions for staff? Hearing none at this time, we will open up the public hearing. Anybody like to speak on this issue?
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, as chairman of the Main Street Commission, one of our obligations is to review the budget. And we realize that there is a problem in being able to maintain the street in the proper manner, and unfortunately, poll was taken of the property owners, and they were unable to come up with a majority in favor of raising the assessment, which by law has to be done through an elective process of the property owners. Now, I would like to think that there might be other possibilities of some type of money being transferred from another fund by the city to assist Main Street in maintaining the image that we want to project to keep people coming to Main Street and enjoying what we have to offer. I know that the reimagining downtown has been really focusing on the area, and we'd like to see some major improvements along that way, but again, money is going to be the issue, so hopefully there can be other funds available. And again, it's up to the property owners, if they're willing to cough up a little more money, to be able to keep the city street the way it should be and keep people coming and enjoying Main Street. Thank you.
I'm hearing something I haven't heard out of you before. It sounds like you want to be a socialist. You're going to have somebody else pay for their lighting. Is that correct? Did I hear that?
No, it's not correct, sir. Part of the Reimagine Garden Grove, I'm sure, is going to be receiving funding from various sources, and I just wonder if part of that Reimagining Garden Grove funding might also contribute a little to Main Street. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, we'd like to have a report from our city clerk.
Mr. Mayor, as of the close of the public hearing, the city clerk's office has received no protests regarding this assessment. There are 30 parcels in the district. As a result, there is not a majority protest.
Okay. Any discussion here amongst ourselves?
Yeah, I think I'd like to say a few words.
Go ahead.
My issue with this has always been, I mean, this comes up every year, and this has always been the problem is, over the years, expenses rise. They've never actually raised the nominal fees being charged, and so therefore the expenses have outpaced the assessments that come in, and there's a shortfall. Well, there are reserves that were built up from before, so we're not weird, but they are dwindling down in reserves. Basically, it's a dysfunctional association. If you looked at it like a condo association, maintaining the common areas between all the individually owned properties within the association, a healthy and proper way to do it is you budget for the actual expenditures, you put away side reserves for the longer-term capital expenditures, and you budget out appropriately. So if the city were to come in and take over maintenance and make these public streets, then why would there be a need for a Main Street Commission anymore, for example, or a Main Street Association, which was formed to sort of make itself unique and have its own unique identity and do things above and beyond what would normally happen on normal city streets and so forth. So I would love to see downtown get reimagined. I mean, I've been very active in that campaign, and I think the city is squarely behind it and is investing a lot of money in that direction. So I'd like to see that happen. But to me, it's not as much a money issue as it is a fragmented ownership issue there, which is, I don't know how we reach out and sort of get a vision that could get everybody on the same page going forward there, because we're not going to have a meaningful reimagined downtown until or unless everybody sort of comes out of their old ways of thinking and starts moving forward towards getting on the same page with with the vision going forward. And what I see as a stalemate, if people aren't even willing to increase, if there's a vote in the ownership along Main Street isn't willing to increase the dues to cover increasing expenses over the years due to inflation, then, there's some work that needs to be done beneath the surface. It's a complicated issue. And I don't think the city's just going to come in and throw money at a dysfunctional problem without seeing some kind of uniformity coming out of that group. So I'd like to see that. I'd like to see it head in a positive direction. I just don't see it yet.
It would be interesting to see if the owners had raised their rents in the last 10 years. I mean, I just don't understand it either. I mean, well, we'll see where it goes. We're not there yet, so. Okay.
Did we vote?
I would like to, somebody entertain a motion to approve the resolution. We have a motion.
Second.
Second, call for the vote.
Motion received, 4 yes votes.
Let's go to 8C.
Mr. Mayor, 8C is, again, a public hearing to consider an assessment. This time it's for the Garden Grove Tourism Improvement District, the hotels on Harbor Boulevard, and Greg Blodgett is here to give a staff report on this item.
Thank you, Mr. Fertel. Mr. Mayor, members of City Council, tonight we have for your consideration a resolution approving the annual report for the Garden Grove Tourist Improvement District Advisory Board and levying assessment for fiscal year 2014-2015. Last 2 weeks ago, we had a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation on all the activities that went on within the district. So we've taken care of that. So tonight's portion is the final portion of the district, approving the district, which is a public hearing. So at this time, we would like to move forward with your consideration, recommending that City Council conduct a public hearing for the proposed annual levying of assessment and other matters provided in the annual report submitted by the GGTID advisory report, and receive the report from the city clerk regarding protests received, and assuming that there is no majority protest, adopt the resolution confirming Garden Grove Tourist District Advisory Board report and levying the assessment for Garden Grove Tourist Improvement District for fiscal year 2014-2015. That concludes my report.
Any questions for staff? Okay, we're going to open up the public hearing. Would anybody like to speak on that issue? Hearing none, we will close the public hearing. We'd like to hear from the city clerk.
Mr. Mayor, as of the close of the public hearing, the city's clerk's office has received no protests regarding this assessment. There are 2,775 rooms in the district. As a result, there is not a majority protest.
Okay, any discussion amongst yourselves, gentlemen? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion.
I'll move it.
We have a motion.
I'll second that.
We got a second. Call for the vote.
Motion received, 4 yes votes.
Let's go to 8D.
Mr. Mayor, 8D is a public hearing to consider levying the annual assessments for the Garden Grove Street Lighting District and the Garden Grove Park Maintenance District. And Anna Neal is here to give the staff report on this item.
Thank you, Mr. Fertel. Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, tonight the City Council is asked to hold a public hearing and adopt the resolutions for collection of assessments on the city street lighting and park maintenance districts. On May 27, 3 resolutions of intention to levy and collect assessments were adopted by the City Council. The purpose of the assessments is to pay for the operation and maintenance of the districts. The public hearing is required by law, and its purpose is to hear testimony on the question of the annual assessments. Once the hearing is complete, the resolutions may be adopted. Should the resolutions pass, the required information will be forwarded to the county assessor for collection of the assessments. The assessments will raise approximately $1.3 million in street lighting revenue and $700,000 in park maintenance revenue. There are no increases in the assessment rates from the last fiscal year. This concludes my report, and I'm available to answer questions.
Any questions for staff? Hearing none, we'll open up the public hearing. Anybody like to speak on this issue?
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're going to have 3 public hearings.
Back up. We're going to have 3 separate public hearings. So your first public hearing would be to consider the Street Lighting District 99-1.
Okay, that's the one I'm on.
I know, I just wanted to make sure that we weren't going to have one public hearing for all three
Oh,
items.
no, we got an 8D2 and another one hiding under here from me.
Correct.
Okay, we're fine.
Mr. Mayor, one question came to my mind when we were discussing the assessments for Main Street. And you
We're through with that
mentioned-
now. It's already been over.
Would it be fair for the city to pay for the lighting of Main Street? But this is a separate assessment. This is not the Main Street assessment. This is lighting assessment, which the council has the option of raising the assessments for various areas to maintain street lighting. So I think it's a separate issue, Mr. Mayor.
I have no idea what you were talking about. We already covered Main Street, so, okay, we'll clarify that later someday. Let's go to,
Well, we'll have to close the hearing on 8D1.
I'm aware of that.
Okay.
You don't know how well she laid it out
I know.
for me. I mean, this is, I thank you very much, Miss Baylor. You went the long way to do this, and your astute boss there is not giving you the quality of work you've done, not recognizing that, so. Okay, we're at the receipt from the city clerk regarding protest received on issue number 8D1.
Mr. Mayor, as of the close of the public hearing, the city clerk's office has received 0 protests regarding this assessment. There are 349 parcels in the district. As a result, there is not a majority protest.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there any discussion from the council? Hearing none, I entertain a motion.
Move approval.
We have a motion.
Second.
Call for the vote.
Motion received, 4 yes votes.
Okay, let's go to 8D2, Garden Grove Park Maintenance District.
Right, I think at this point, we just opened a public hearing, or public hearing on the Park Maintenance District.
No staff presentation?
I think it was included in the first overall
You
presentation.
got that wrong, Kathy.
Either she did or I did. I'll take it. I've had a bad night already.
Okay. Any questions for staff? None. Let's go to, we're going to open up the public hearing for 8D2 Garden Grove Park Maintenance District. Now, that one we'll listen to. Hearing none at this time, we will close the public hearing. Any discussion, gentlemen? Oh, we got to get a response from the city clerk. I'm not,
Mr. Mayor, as of the close of the public hearing, the city clerk's office has received no protests regarding this assessment. There are 35,499 parcels in the district. As a result, there is not a majority protest.
okay. Any discussion from the council? I entertain a motion.
Move approval.
Second.
Call for the vote.
Motion received, 4 yes votes.
Okay, let's go to 8D3.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, it's recommended that you open the public hearing to consider comments on item regarding the Garden Grove Street Lighting District.
Any staff presentation?
No, it was included in the,
Okay, I just want to make sure you knew that. I mean, okay, we'll at this time open the public public information for the public hearing. Anybody like to speak on Garden Grove Street Lighting District? Now's your chance. Goes away for a whole year. Okay, at this time, we will close the public hearing. The city clerk, do you have any protest on this issue?
As of the close of the public hearing, we have no protests regarding this assessment. There are 34,886 parcels in the district, and as a result, there is not a majority protest.
Okay. Any discussion from the council? Hearing none at this time, we entertain a motion.
Move approval.
Have a motion.
Second.
Call for the vote.
Motion received, 4 yes votes.
Okay, let's go on. We'll go to 11A.
Mr. Mayor, you have ordinance presented for second reading. Your first one is ordinance number 2839, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Garden Grove approving Plan Unit Development Number PUD 10470, Revision 214, a text amendment to the standards of development for signage of Plan Unit Development Number PUD 10470 to allow a 59-foot tall freeway-oriented electronic reader board sign subject to a conditional use permit approval.
Any comment, gentlemen? Entertain a motion.
Move approval.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Call for the vote.
Motion received, 4 yes votes.
Okay, and
11B.
11B. Believe it or not, I do not have 11B. Oh, yeah, here it is. It's hiding.
That's ordinance number 2840 for second reading, ordinance of the City Council of the City of Garden Grove approving amendment number A007-2014 of the Garden Grove Municipal Code to add Chapter 9.50 to expressly prohibit outdoor donation collection bins throughout the city and to require the removal of all existing outdoor donation collection bins.
Any questions for staff, gentlemen?
Yeah, just one quick question. Can we get, because I saw some commentary back and forth on some of the social network stuff about this, that they're still out there and they're still going, and I thought they passed this ordinance to get rid of them, they're still there. Can we get some comment just on the timeline of implementation and what this looks like? Like, when will the
Notices
neighbors
go out?
and,
Yeah.
when will notices go out? When will the residents start to see these things go away?
Okay, I'll let Mr. Nixon answer that.
Well, the ordinance will become effective 30 days from today. So the city cannot take any action until the ordinance specifically becomes effective, and that's a statutorily required timeline. So once the ordinance becomes effective 30 days from today, staff will be able to move forward with notices to inform these people that they need to move them out, and I believe that that's a 45-day period, and after that, they should be able to take enforcement action against any that still remain.
Should be by September 1st.
Yeah, so 30 plus 45 before we could do any kind of tangible enforcement.
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No, I'll go ahead and move the second reading.
Second.
Call for the vote.
Motion received, 4 yes votes.
Mr. Beard, do you have anything you'd like to say this evening?
A few things. I want to express my condolences to the Slackett family for the loss of George Slackett. I heard about that earlier today on the website. Did we hear that at all?
How old was
Let's
George?
verify. Let's verify that then, because I did. I heard that I read that in an email in the Neighborhood Watch. So, if that's the case, I do want to confirm it, and I hope it's not true. But we'll take action on finding out.
Okay, let's look into that, so. Okay, anything else, Chris?
Yeah, I want to congratulate Pacifica High School, the girls softball team, won CIF Division I, which is a pretty big accomplishment, and they won the South section, and I was there at the game, and that happened. That was by far one of the most exciting games I've ever seen. They won 1-0 in the 12th inning, overtime. Pitchers duel. It's exciting. I don't think I could watch a more exciting game, professionally or otherwise, and it was our Pacifica High School girls winning the softball championship for our city and their school. So that was a great experience, and I wish them well for next year as well. I want to wish everyone a happy Father's Day coming up this Sunday. And I want to also wish a happy birthday to my son, who turned 19 yesterday. So given this opportunity, I'm so proud and happy to announce that my son, Alex Beard, is now a 19-year-old. And I also want to congratulate Mayor Pro Tem Wynn's daughter for her graduation from high school. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Just want to also congratulate Pacifica for their great accomplishment. Happy birthday to Alex.
Thanks.
And during the last few weeks, I had a chance to visit Lamson Elementary School and also our food bank. About the Lamson School visit, it was great because the principal's having a program where basically they're trying to deflect a lot of the costs from their general funds into asking community donations as far as in a paper bag to donate, such as markers, crayons, stuff the likes, to the students. So if you are inclined please stop by Lamson. They're on Lamson and on the border with Orange there. Their elementary school on the left side before you hit the block. And they would welcome the donation for anything like that for the kids. And as far as my food bank visit, it was wonderful just to see all the stuff that the food bank is doing for the community. If you happen to have a chance to drive by or visit our food bank, which is on Monarch Street, which is right on the border, basically in between the east and west side of Garden Grove. And they offer a lot of service as far as food and all the stuff that we need to help with the poor. So you can either contribute time or donation to the food bank. That would be wonderful. And that's all I have.
Mr. Jones.
Just want to say, save the date, 10/12/14, Reimagine Garden Grove Open Streets event. You can go to ggopenstreets.com for more information.
Now, this is where we're going to ride a bicycle around and...
Walk around, ride a bike around, listen to music, beer garden. A lot of fun stuff going on. We're going to close off streets to vehicular traffic and have a big party and celebrate our downtown core and try and invite people in from all edges of the town and beyond and see how we can reimagine Garden Grove going forward.
Well, I want to thank staff for doing a fantastic job last night at the Garden Grove, what kind of name of it? Pride, right. That's the name of a horse, too, I think. But anyway, they had a fabulous job. The A-room was filled wall to wall. One of the fellow that won the $500 was a former school teacher of one of my sons, so he made sure he got to tell me that. I pulled that right ticket out for him. So it was a great night. I don't know how it could have been any better. I mean, it was fantastic. And I just want to compliment all of the staff that were involved in it, and then probably with 25, 30 people involved in it, they did a great job. It was good. And I just hope everybody has a good weekend, and we will be back in the 24th of June.
I have to adjourn the closed session for the last item.
Oh, we got to go into closed session, so we will adjourn to go into closed session.